So, after months of negotiating, Sweden has finally managed to come up with a new government. About 60% of the votes were for non-socialists, and about 40% of the votes were for socialists. Guess what we got? Well, we got a socialist government. This is pure democracy at work right here. The centre and the centre-right coalition refused to work together with the nationalist Swedish Democrats because they were so-called far-right. Principal conservatives, am I right? Well, instead let the socialists get into power, with help from the former Communist Party. Yes, they call themselves the Left Party now, but they used to be called the Communists. The Centre Party and the Liberal Party left the right-wing coalition and supported the Socialists to form a government. Basically, they betrayed the voters because before the election they had promised to support the right-wing, or the centre-right. But what would you expect from Annie Lööf, the leader of the Centre Party? She's attended Bilderberg multiple times, and she is a secret member of the Trilateral Commission, which was only revealed just recently.
We are changed. Just wanted to know, what do you expect here at the Bilderberg meeting this year?
I hope we will have great discussions with panels about current issues on the international agenda.
Do you know what you're going to be talking about by any chance?
No, I'm not agenda. Okay.
Oh, and she has previously said that Sweden could take in another 30 million migrants. Yes, she actually said that. This government is off now to a great start, by the way. The previous Minister for Culture in Sweden was a Marxist, Alice Bah Kuhnke. But now, we have a new one from the Green Party. Let me present to you the new Minister for Culture in Sweden, Amanda Lind. Yeah, I don't really know what to say here, but it's quite clear that we have a hippie as our culture minister in Sweden. Hang on a second though, isn't she culturally appropriating that hairstyle right there? I mean, she should more be named the Minister of Cultural Appropriation, right? It looks like a bird's nest is alive and well up there. I mean, and well, I kinda get the feeling that there's quite a lot of green stuff going on with the hair, you know what I'm saying? You know, they'll probably have to introduce drug tests in the Swedish parliament now, when she's going to be attending. Hanif Bali, a popular politician from the centre-right moderate party, wrote on Twitter after her appointment, quote, "A hippie looking forward to tons of grass at the department," unquote. This guy has a lot of followers on Twitter, actually. So Sweden's new culture minister, Amanda Lind's husband, Björn Ola Lind, is some kind of artist, it seems. There's some quite interesting videos out there where he seems to be campaigning for the Green Party. So let's have a look, shall we? Okay, that's a interesting. What's going on here? Are they trying to swat away flies, or what's? I actually have no idea what is going on right here.
Mina ben, mitt skelett, ljudar ihop med älgens.
Yeah. Okay. What is going on here? This is quite representative, actually, of Swedish politics. You know, this is I don't know what to say. Oh, this is some crazy hippie new age stuff right here. I mean, this guy has been smoking some things. That's for sure. So I can imagine, is this kind of new culture that we will be expecting to see in Sweden now, considering that his wife is now the Minister of Culture in Sweden. We'll be getting all this new hippie stuff. They're probably going to legalize all kinds of things. All of this hippie culture, playing didgeridoo with moose bones, swinging something around in the air, I don't know. Wow. We're getting some... Judging by this, it looks like we're getting some crazy new age hippie culture in Sweden, if they get their way at least. Oh, I don't know what to say. I mean, Sweden, I think this shows how much of a joke Sweden is. I mean, if you haven't realized it before, Sweden is a complete joke, a complete mess. And this perfectly exemplifies that. This is actually in a campaign for this video that you saw. It's actually he was actually campaigning for the Green Party in Sweden. I mean, wow. Oh, and by the way, some other minister posts that have been appointed here now in new government in Sweden is quite interesting. So we had the Minister for Culture and Democracy, Amanda Lind is the Minister for Democracy as well. She praised the man who had dined with fascists and Islamists. The Foreign Minister in Sweden has been denied travel to Israel for anti-Semitism. The Defense Minister in Sweden has skipped mandatory military service. And the Minister of Higher Education in Sweden has no degree. So you can kind of see here where all of this why Sweden is in such a terrible state. We got playground politics. I mean, that's really what it is. These people have no idea how to run a country, and that's why Sweden is going the way it's going. It's just been going down and down and down recently. I mean, it's just not good at all. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Green Party in Sweden, they actually want completely open borders, full mass migration. Everyone can just come as they please. That's what they actually want, and they are in coalition government. So we're gonna get another 4 years of this. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, can the last Swede leaving the country at least please turn the lights off? Amanda Lind has already managed to become controversial in Sweden on her very first day of the job. Just shortly after she was appointed, she wrote on her Instagram praising a former housing minister in Sweden named Mehmet Kaplan, also from the Green Party, calling him a, quote, pioneer and hero, unquote. Mehmet Kaplan was forced to resign after it was revealed that he had contacts with the fascist Grey Wolves in Turkey. Mehmet Kaplan was at a dinner with them in Turkey, and also another Islamist organization called Milli Görüş or something like that. Mehmet has also said controversial things about Israel, and according to the then ambassador for Israel in Sweden, Isaac Bachman, it was, quote, anti-Semitic statements, unquote. Going on! Amanda Lind has an interesting track record as a politician. Back in 2015, she spent an absurd amount of money buying a parking place for bicycles, a bicycle rack. So basically here's what they spent on buying a bicycle rack here for the local area, the local municipality. They spent about $20,000 for a bicycle roof. They spent about $13,900 for a bike rack with a tire pump. They spent about $13,500 for labor and shipping. All in all, about $47,500 for a parking spot for bicycles that can hold 12 bikes. This sounds extremely expensive. The newspaper Allehanda investigated what it actually should cost for a bike rack like this, and the newspaper got a price of around $11,000, which sounds quite reasonable if you ask me. But this Green Party politician managed to spend $47,500 on a bicycle rack for 12 bikes. Now, this is what I call value for money, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of efficiency I want to see. This is what I want my hard-earned tax money going to. I mean, what do you expect with socialism anyways? You know, as we all know, socialism is horrendously inefficient. Look no further than this fantastic example. But now, Amanda Lind, who was the lead of this project, is now the Minister for Culture in Sweden. Amanda Lind is actually a psychologist, and she's been a member of the Green Party since the 90s. In a statement, Amanda said, after she was appointed, she said that she wants to, quote, promote and support children and young people's equal right to culture, but also to secure democracy, the independence of the free press, investigative journalism, and natural minorities, the ethnic Sami people, unquote. By the way, in case you didn't know, I'm actually a tiny bit Sami myself. They're quite interesting people. They live up north in Sweden and in Norway, and they are the kind of ethnic native people. Like you have the Native Americans, you have the native Swedish people. So in case you don't know, most of the Swedish people, you know, the regular Swedes that you know, they actually they have Germanic ancestry. They are Germanic peoples. So actually Swedish people and German people are actually very similar. But then you also have these ethnic people as well up north, who live in the cold. They live in tents, and well, maybe not as much now anymore, but they're actually the only ones that are allowed to own reindeers in Sweden, and they even have their own flag. They have their own protected area, and so on. And yeah, I'm actually my dad is actually up from the north of Sweden, so I have a bit of Sami, so that's quite interesting. But yeah, they have some interesting culture up there, definitely. Something that's interesting to look at. But anyways, this is now what we're getting in Sweden. A minister for culture from the Green Party. Even though the Greens only got 4.5% of the votes, actually, they're still getting minister appointments. Pure democracy at work. You know, real Swedish culture is about Vikings, you know, Swedish heritage, the Swedish kings, Viking ships, Viking villages, rune stones, you know, things like that, you know. But it apparently seems like these people this new culture minister in Sweden is kind of a lot more interested in new age hippie culture, all of this crazy stuff, basically. I don't know. Why would I put? I don't know. It's it kind of reminds me a little bit of when about a year back, I think it was, the Swedish Twitter account said that the Swedish meatballs was actually from Turkey and not from Sweden. It kind of appears that they're trying to erase Swedish culture. They don't really care much about Swedish culture anymore. Quite evident with this new appointment, to say the least. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And also remember to turn on notifications, because the way the YouTube system works now, you have to have notifications on, otherwise you won't get notifications whenever I upload new videos. So make sure to hit that notification bell right there. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.